guys, today I wanted to talk about the 12 astrological signs of the Zodiac, that being really a bunch of 12 archetypes, and archetypes being a primal version of our modern day stereotypes. We really, at the end of the day, if we really think about it, we all have a need to fit in, even if it means not so much fitting into a group, but fitting into society as a whole. Even if that means we want to be the outcasts or those that don't want to be categorized and want to be the lone wolves. In some respects, that does put us into some category, those that don't want to conform or those who want to do their own thing. So when we start looking at society as a whole, 6.7 billion people and counting, we can see that once we take off all the idiosyncrasies, eccentricities, very individual parts of experience from person to person, that they're essentially 12 psychological makeups spread amongst people. We can see though that although they're not consistent in the display by individual people and how we see in our day-to-day lives, we can see that there are particular traits and characteristics that are constantly on display. So through time, as we get older and we start experiencing more and more, we can especially come into contact with all different types of people, all different places, experiences, cultures, all of the above. We can see that everything is in constant flux of action and reaction. It continues on ever more. So really, through time, we generally either reject or we either mold ourselves into a particular, I guess it's what people call our personality. It's what we either do not want to become or what we do want to become. And at the end of the day, it's a combination of both that makes up essentially who we are. But there is one rhetorical question I have, and that is, at any one time, could you say that someone in the world is feeling absolutely identical to how you're feeling? Is exact same views, parallel to the T, believing exactly what you believe, liking the exact same things? See, at the end of the day, it's the mix of specific experiences, the influences we've all had, areas of life where we invest our time in, put our efforts into, our desires, our hates, our interests, all the above is what really forms us as an individual. And so when you mix and mash all these different behaviours and characteristics and traits, you can see that we are really a blend of all. Some we might not be as aware as some of our more dominant characteristics, but we essentially are a mix of them all. So in coming down to the point of astrology and really even looking into it, I guess the first part of it is coming in contact with our dominant traits, where our natural affinities, getting us on track, doing what we want to do, ignoring, I guess, all the extra bits of advice and opinions other people have of where we should be going, who we should be, removing all the above, and not so much to rebel, but to really getting down to who we are underneath everything else. And that's the first step in astrology. And then after that, well, it's a different process altogether, but that's initially our first step. So if we can start to see that there is some very specific traits we do possess on a general basis, even if that set of traits has been someone that is constantly changing all the time, then we can say that is something that we can rely on, that it is a general part of our personality. But yes, like I said, everything is in a state of change all the time, so we are going to constantly evolve and change and adapt and take on different belief systems and thoughts over time. But it is in our birth chart from when we were born, from our very first experiences we had, our first reactions we had to life, that they are the building blocks to where we get our ideas from, how we synthesize information. Yeah, so if we can look into that first and really get in deep, we can see where we're going from there.